welcome back to Marshmellow Reads. I'm Marcy, and today I'm going to be telling you about the various fantasy novels I have read so far in 2023. If you haven't seen my last video and are curious about where I've been the last 4 months, go ahead and check that out. It includes a life update as well as a review of 4 horror novels that I have read so far this year. But if you don't care, that's okay. You can always check it out later. Let's get into these fantasy books. First off, I have a graphic novel, The Daughters of Ys by M.T. Anderson, and illustrations by Joe Ruo. From Goodreads, an Atlantis-like city from Celtic legend is the setting of this mystical graphic novel fantasy reimagining the classic Breton folktale of love, loss, and rebirth, revealing the secrets that lie beneath the surface. This had great illustrations, great story. This was like the first book I read this year, so I honestly don't remember too many details about it. I think there was like a siren or like a spooky mermaid, something like that. I did do a, slightly more detailed review on my Instagram page, so if you want to check that out, you can go there. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. Next is Locklands by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the third and final book in the Founders trilogy. Woo! I finished a fantasy series. Amazing. Incredible. Mwah. I'm not going to go into too many details here because it is the final book. I think it's wonderful and everyone should read the series, so go check out the first one if you haven't already. But anyway, this one starts with an 8-year time skip from the end of the last book where the team made their daring escape from Divina after the dam blew up or something. I forget exactly what, but it was like a large explosion. People died. It was messy. And now the brilliant Berenice has developed a way to twin every team member's mind to each other's for peak communication. They see what you see, they feel what you feel, they even think what you think because you're basically the same person. Your minds meld together. And basically you get a team of soldiers that acted in total unison with complete awareness of everyone's location, capabilities, and vulnerabilities. She basically scribed a hive mind. Insanity. And the team has to band together one last time to finally take down the eldritch monstrosity that has been hunting them down and trying to get Clef the magical key that can talk to other scribed items, and is basically a literal key to the universe, like very important magical key person thing. Yo, this book went so hard in its sci-fi fantasy elements. Like, Robert Jackson Bennett is one of my favorite fantasy authors out there right now. Like, everything he's doing is just like incredible. And he just keeps coming at you with wilder and wilder scribing abilities in this book. And it's such a fun read. For example, you have these terrifying dead lamps, which are these giant metal boxes that are floating in the sky that are capable of just straight up deleting whole bubbles of reality. Like, in a blink, just gone. Terrifying. And it's even more terrifying when you learn how it's powered. A bunch of, like, dozens of poor trapped souls strapped to these chairs. They're, sorrow, pain, life energy is being sucked out of them and used to power this machine. It's horrifying and very neat. I was dying at the end. The finale, after all the like crazy climax and stuff, bracing herself, she turned the handle of the door, opened it, and looked within. A voice sighed with relief from the other side, and then it spoke. Finally, there you are. Not me sobbing in bed while my husband is trying to sleep next to me. It was a lot. And I love a good love story with a happy ending, and that's all I'll say there. 5 out of 5 stars. Please go read this series. Yeah, I finished a fantasy series, but of course, I'm also going to start new ones. This is Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is the first book in the Greenbone saga. I really like this jade-based magic system. Like, it is a bummer that there is eugenics in here. There are some people called Stone Eyes who, for whatever reason, do not have the ability to tap into the magic that is within Jade. So they're more used to, like, mine the Jade and, like, manipulate it because they don't get sick or overwhelmed by the power, but whatever, it's fine. I'm not sure if I have a favorite character yet, but I am really interested in the character arcs of Andin and Shay. Andin is already fucked up by this book. He is such a smart and kind kid at the very beginning. He is right about to graduate from military, whatever, Jade school, and is excited to enter into the family work. He wants to do right by the family that took him in after his mother's death. They're technically his like uncles and brothers, but they're really closer to like parental figures, siblings, that kind of stuff. But of course, gangsters are gonna gangster, and this kid's journey is only gonna get worse. He's gonna get so messed up. I have a feeling he's not gonna die at all in this series, and is just going to be there to witness all of the horrible things that keep happening to these families, and is just going to get progressively more and more traumatized. But that's just my prediction. We'll see what actually happens. And then the other character that I'm really interested in is Shay. She grew up in this family as well, but decided to leave to make a life outside of Jade and Jade fighting and gangster stuff. But of course, they always pull you back in. I think she might end up as Pillar. That might just be wishful thinking, but we'll see. She might also end up betraying her family and going to the Mountain Clan and maybe trying to unify them like the Mountain Clan wants, or maybe a secret third thing. I don't know. Either way, I am rooting for her. She just wants to be happy, and doesn't everyone? I was really digging the inter-organizational conflicts in this book. Like, yes, the physical side of it with the wild magical jade fights that are like very, very well written in here. But also the 4D chess that the pillars of each of the clans are playing to like try to outsmart each other and like win the land territory and all that stuff. Like, there's so much going on every level. It's so good. Yeah, it is a bit of a chunky boy, but it is such an easy read. At least it was for me, and I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. Next up, we have another very chunky book. I think, like, look at that. Listen. This is the longest book I have read in a very long time, and when I bought this book, it was a standalone, but now apparently there's a sequel, so I'll have to see if I check that out sometime in the future. But anyway, for now, this is the Ember Blade by Chris Whitting. A land under occupation, a legendary sword, a young man's journey to find his destiny. Aaron was just an Ossian boy who dreamed of becoming basically cannon fodder for the Croydon army. I believe this is paralleling the occupied Ireland and the invading England. It's pretty clear, but I haven't confirmed it online or whatever. But anyway, this kid really thought that if he did well enough in school and got proficient enough with the sword, learned their language and their religion, that maybe one day he could marry his sweetheart, the lovely Croydon noble lady, Sora. But her family made sure that that was never going to happen. He was never going to be good enough for her or her family. So they ended up killing his traitorous father and imprisoned Aaron and his best friend Cade. Yeah, that didn't go well for him. Lesson here, you may dress up like your oppressors all you like, but they will never accept you. And you are going to be thrown out with the garbage as they see you, along with the rest of us. So, quit it. Stop it. Sorry, I have thoughts. Ooh, my favorite character in this whole book was the pagan lady, Vika Walks the Burrows. And, oh god, she was so cool. She used her potions and magic and saved the crew's asses time and time again. Like, they would have been dead, like, this far into the book if it wasn't for her. Like, she got them to the end. Oh, this is hard to keep holding up, but I'm gonna do it because I'm strong and independent. Sorry. I'm maybe over-caffeinated. Okay. Yeah, this tome goes so many places. Let me just give you a few of my favorites. Number 1, Aaron and his best friend Cade are imprisoned at the labor camp. That's where we start the first fifth of the book. And then, part 2, the boys escape with some help from unexpected allies. And they end up joining up with this band of adventurers who are aiming to steal back the legendary Ember Blade from the invading Cronins. Yeah. And they're aiming to do that at an upcoming royal wedding. And then, for the majority of the book, the crew is constantly running away from these 3 Terminator-like warlocks. They are terrifying. They seem just like unstoppable death machines. Not everyone from the crew makes it to that final heist because of these unstoppable killing machines. And I did have a certain thing at the end spoiled for me a few months ago before I read it, but that was okay. The ending still hit me hard enough to bring me to tears, so I'm not mad about it. Besides the fun, epic fantasy plot, I also delighted in the various revolutionary and progressive notes from this book. Like I said, I have thoughts. First off, it gave me hope for a workers' rebellion. We may be coming from diverse backgrounds, but we can come together and bring our oppressors to their knees if we just work together. Because those bitches have it coming. Ooh, I liked this quote. "The wheels of change are greased with blood." Yes. Like, name one revolution that did not invoke violence. What's that? Oh, you can't? Yeah. Now you know why. Like, you can't just vote change to happen. You cannot just ask nicely for your oppressors to stop killing you and oppressing you and exploiting your labor. Like, that's never gonna happen. Like, just keep thinking about that. Like, change, it's not just gonna happen. You have to actually start doing things. And it all starts with your community. Just think about it. This is a bit of a long one, but I think it is important in talking about intersectional everything, but especially intersectional feminism. So we have 2 characters here. Mara, which is basically an analog for an upper middle class white woman. I guess a white, in this case, Irish woman who comes from a decent amount of privilege. And then she is talking to Orquidea, a Sard, who is a woman of color, an analog for a Roma traveler. And Mara was barred from university because of the Croton invasion, but she still invented dope-ass prosthetic limbs. So she ended up asking a male friend of hers to invent it in his name and then just give most of the money to her. And it worked for her for a while. And yeah, she was bummed that she didn't have her name associated with this impressive invention. But now she gets to use that money to fight the Crotons. But then when Mara and Orisa meet, they're having this conversation where Mara says that she wished that they had invaded 20 years earlier so that she wouldn't have grown up with the hopes and dreams of going to university, becoming a professor, and all that. Which is so messed up. What do you mean? You want to be more oppressed, lady? And then Orisa responded, "I grieve for your plight. I do, but I am a Sard before I am a woman. My people have been nothing for a long, long time." Psst. Feminism needs intersectionality. It's not just about you, white women. Please wake up. We need your help. We just need all the numbers that we can get, and it is super annoying that people are putting womanhood above everything else, or their own personal problems above other people's, Anyway, yeah, stop it. I could probably keep going, because it is an over 1,000 page book. Oh, no, I lied. It's only 824 pages. Still, it's a lot. Yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Check it out if that sounds good to you. I've already talked a lot so far, so I'm going to try to speed it up for these last few, but we'll see. Okay, next up we have The Inheritance of Orquidea Divina by Soriada Cordova. This was a birthday present I got not this year, but last year from one of my good friends, Jessie. Thank you so much. I finally got around to reading it. This is a magical realism tale about one family's struggle to understand their gifts and curses. There is a magical grandmother with a traumatic past, and then her children and grandchildren are experiencing these unexpected magical blessings. And there's also this mysterious dark force that is shadowing this whole story, who is just tearing through their family tree one by one, just killing people off, which, you know, is a problem. Yeah, I really enjoyed the storytelling and the writing of this book. I thought it was really well done. And I do love me some weird plant magic, and as well as busting intergenerational curses. That's always a fun one. Yeah, I think if you liked Encanto and are looking for similar stories, check this one out. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Next up, we have Star Wars Visions, Ronin, by Emma Mieko Candon. A mysterious former Sith wanders the galaxy decades after the Sith Rebellion failed to overthrow the greedy Jedi clans serving the Empire. If you have seen or heard of the Ronin movies like 47 Ronin, 13 Assassins, or 7 Samurai, they all have numbers in them. I don't know if that's a requisite, but there's a trend for you. Anyway, this book is basically that, but set in a Star Wars universe. This technically is not canon. Like, if you have seen the animated Star Wars Visions series, it is based off of one of the episodes. Oh, I don't remember what it was called, but it's with this guy. It's with the Ronin and this insane battle in this tiny village with this ridiculous giant white afro having Sith lady who is dope as hell, who is also in this book. It was just, it was so good. You don't have to have seen like all of the Star Wars franchises to understand or really enjoy this book. I would recommend watching the Star Wars Visions animated show. It's only like 20 minutes of your time. I think that is a really good introduction to this world specifically, but you definitely don't need to know all of the lore from the other movies and stuff. But yeah, I loved this. It was a really cool expansion on that Visions episode. I had really dope world building. Yeah, I would like a sequel, please. I give this one a 5 out of 5 stars. And the last fantasy review I have for you today is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker-Chan. This is another book that I have had on my shelf for about a year or two now. Oops. But yes, finally got around to it. So this is the first book in the Radiant Emperor series. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think the sequel's coming out in August, so exciting. Good timing for me. A starving, useless, unwanted daughter takes her dead brother's name and hopefully his predicted good fate to make something of herself. And she ends up growing up in a monastery under the guise of her brother, so she pretends to be a boy. Basically, it's like a Mulan sort of situation. Very much inspired by Mulan here. She grows up in the monastery and then ends up joining an army when that monastery gets burned down by the invading army. Oops. And yeah, she just keeps girl bossing her way all the way to the top, and she's really good at it, and she gets a dope wife on the way there, which is pretty cool and gay, and I really liked that. Yeah, I think if you are a fan of ancient Chinese war campaigns and like politicking, that side of things, I think you would enjoy it. There is a romance in here. It's not like the main focus of it, but it is pretty good. There is fisting, and it was pretty hot. I have seen people compare this to Song of Achilles. I mean, I can kind of see it. You know, it's like ancient times, very queer romance, but it's definitely not the same. The focus of this book is more on Xu Chongba's destiny and her journey to make her own fate. And it was really good. Like, you could really feel the stubborn determination of Xu Chongba and how it just she just is so determined in her struggle to make her life for herself, and you know, in a world where girls are useless and thrown away and disposable and worth nothing compared to boys of the same family and standing and everything. I don't know. It was empowering, it was cool, and just overall a good fantasy story. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Oh, my arm is tired. That's a lot of books to hold up. But yeah, that means I have read a lot of books that I already own, which is great because I'm going to be moving in like 6 months or something, and I definitely do not want to move with as many books as we currently have. So yeah, you'll be seeing more of those. I'm slowly getting through these shelves back here, so look forward to that. Yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Do something nice for yourself. Maybe make yourself a nice little drink, and don't forget to drink water. That's always very important, regardless of whatever else you are drinking. Do something nice for yourself. That's what I already said. Do something nice for others, like remind them to drink water, because, you know, you get busy, you get focused, whatever. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Thank you.